Man is heartbroken after an innocent day at the beach cost him his best friend. When we think of a day at the beach, it's all sunshine and relaxation. And what a better way to spend a day like that than with your BFFF, best fur friend forever, by your side. It's the weekend, you've got water, you've got waves, and you've got wags. What could possibly go wrong? Well, when a man took his precious pooch out for a beach day, he found out that the ocean packs more of a punch than he'd ever imagined. During a nice afternoon out by the sea, with his best bud, nature struck and left this man forever changed. After Chris Taylor, a 29-year-old student at the University of South Florida, adopted a black Labrador named OG, the two instantly formed a deep bond. Chris even said the dog was like a son to him. On a beautiful day in July, Chris took his number one pooch out for a day at the beach. The two dear friends spent hours splashing around and soaking up the sunshine. Labradors like OG were originally bred for sport, retrieving the game for the hunters once it was down. In particular, these dogs were known for their ability to retrieve waterfowl. True to his breed, OG loved to swim, so this salty dog was no stranger to long bouts in the blue stuff. We can only imagine OG had Chris schooled when it came to the doggy paddle. But no matter how strong a swimmer you are, there are plenty of other dangerous elements to consider. As the two best friends were on their way home from the day at the beach, it became apparent that something had gone wrong. Shortly after returning home, OG started vomiting and having diarrhea. Chris worried that he'd eaten something at the beach when he wasn't looking. After all, our oceans are polluted more now than ever before. In hopes that whatever was wrong would pass, Chris comforted his sick pup the best he could, and by the next day the vomiting subsided. Things were starting to look like they were in the clear for OG. Unfortunately, whatever had taken a hold of OG silently persisted, and within a few days, the dog became extremely lethargic. He was non-responsive and walking around the house as if in a complete daze. Chris became increasingly concerned about his precious pooch, and when he saw him looking like a lost puppy in his own home, he knew something wasn't right. Feeling helpless, Chris rushed OG to the vet. Laying OG on the exam table, Chris explained all his weird symptoms, starting from their day at the beach together. The vet worked quickly and was able to diagnose what was wrong with Chris's dog, but by then they were already too late. The vet explained to Chris that OG had ingested a significant amount of salt water during their day at the beach. Salt water in large quantities can become poisonous to any animal, and dogs are no exception. As far-fetched as it sounds, a day at the beach had turned life-threatening for OG. According to Pet Poison Helpline, saltwater poisoning in dogs and cats can take on many forms, from vomiting, diarrhea, and lethargy, all symptoms OG displayed. When untreated, it can develop into more severe side effects such as tremors, seizures, and even a coma. The veterinary clinic treated OG as diligently as they could, pumping him full of fluids through an IV. Sadly, the dog was displaying no signs of improvement, and Chris was left feeling helpless as he held his friend. Days after an innocent outing at the beach, OG was convulsing on the table at the vet clinic. Unable to help his pal, Chris asked the vet if OG was in pain. The vet replied that at this point the dog probably wasn't even aware of where he was. Unfortunately, OG passed away, and although Chris is heartbroken over his dog, he desperately wants his story to be heard. This tragic end is not an isolated incident, and many people go on taking their pets to the beach completely unaware of the dangers of saltwater poisoning. Experts recommend that pet owners should limit their beach time to 2 hours or less when their furry friends are in tow. Getting fresh water every 30 minutes is especially important and can help stave off dehydration around so much salt. Chris remembers his Labrador fondly, and in his honor, he is helping to spread the word about the dangers of saltwater for animals. All dogs go to heaven, and we know that OG is resting up in puppy paradise, looking down on Chris with his tail wagging. Sure, your dog may like the beach more than most of our feline friends. Most. However, no pet is completely safe to enjoy the briny depths alone. Chris and OG would like to remind us all to practice safe and conscientious pet ocean etiquette. If we're all aware of this, then fun at the beach can remain just that. Though tragic, Chris and OG's story has created awareness for pet owners everywhere, and hopefully it will continue to do so, preventing any saltwater fatalities in the future. What a sad ending to such a happy day. Chris and OG's story is a heavy reminder that even though they can be our heroes, our pets aren't invincible, and the men and women who work with animals for a living are used to seeing it all.